facility. I read in the New Orleans paper that there was some progress there.
Well, I'm not sure where it stands. You have to ask Steve and Mike, but I know it's being talked about, and I think the commitment is to do it, but it's not helping us this morning.
Where would it be built?
Well, there's a couple options I know that they have looked at. You know, they got to make a decision on one of them.
So it's all still just in the planning stages?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Is there money that has been donated to
I think that that commitment has been made also. Yeah. I just think a lot of it is location of where they want to do it.
So you've got your lights. You might have your new facilities. Things are coming along.
Yeah. Well, certainly the Big East will, you know, help that situation.
Speaking of that, is this one of those natural kind of rivalry things that you're building with Navy, that you can build with Navy, especially as you mentioned?
Yeah, you know, I just have had kind of, you know, from my Hawaii days, wanted to play all the academies because I thought that it got, you know, your attention. National media, Navy, Air Force, and Army is covered by all the newspapers. So, you know, that, you know, when we were in the Pacific, you know, we wouldn't even get in a paper unless we were playing them because of the time change. Well, the same thing I thought when we came here, that, you know, SMU, nobody even knew where it was anymore hardly, and you know, and this is a big PR deal. So, you know, we've got to show that we're competitive. We haven't won the 3 times we've played them, so hopefully this one will be different.
Do you feel like that rivalry kind of mentality is on the other side as well?
I think the more you play a team, it becomes that way, and I think it is becoming that way. And then also, you know, we started the Frank Gans Trophy too, which I know that the Navy's been very respectful on that and has learned basically the history of Frank Gans Sr. With the Academy. So there is a little bit more involved with that being it also.
Is it cool to have Frank Jr. on staff?
Yeah, it is. It is. It really is. I think it's gonna, you know, obviously means a lot to him too.
Have you talked with him about just what it would be like to hand him that trophy, or has he addressed the trophy?
No, I don't talk about those things.
You talked about not having success against Navy.
Mm-hmm.
The last 2 years have been very close. The overtime.
Mm-hmm. Well, really, all 3 years. You know, we caught a bad rainstorm up there. I thought defensively we played pretty well in that game up there, but you know, the last 2 years it's been a very competitive game, and you know, we've had our shots. You know, now we got to, you know, prove that we can win it.
You look at their record; they don't look as good as they have been in recent years. They're still obviously playing the option. Do they do anything else?
Yeah, well, you know, they lost I think 2 or 3 at the very end of the game. One was a missed extra point, and you know, they've you know, got way behind in one game, and then by the end of the game it was a close game. So, you know, they don't look any different on film to me. They're still very productive in what they do. They play hard on defense. They got sound schemes both sides of the ball, and they play hard.
Navy's different from any other team you face as far as their offense running that triple option. How are you making adjustments on defense? Are you telling them anything different, especially?
Well, the scheme is totally different, obviously. You know, we've played them before. We practiced in the summer. We devoted time to it in the bye week. So, you know, you do what you can do. But the scheme is totally different than anything, you know, we play the rest of the year.
Does it put any additional pressure on one part of your defense than another?
The pressure it puts on is that everybody does what they're supposed to do. Because if you call a defense and, you know, 10 guys do it and 1 guy doesn't, well, it's a big play, you know, for them. So that's what you're always battling, is getting, you know, everybody to play the scheme and play and do their job. It's not a fun job sometimes for a lineman or a linebacker, but they gotta do it, you know.
The last couple of years, Tom Mason has talked about the speed you need at linebacker in order to stretch plays out to the side and use the sideline as an extra defender. With Stephon Sanders having 1 start under his belt, is it a lot to throw at him, asking him to take on that?
Yeah, it is a lot. It is a lot to throw at him, but you know, it's got to be thrown at somebody, so it might as well be him. You know, we've gotten our linebacker core has played pretty well, and we you know, this is, like I said, a tough scheme to play, but you know, speed certainly helps. That's for sure.
Is Kyle back at practice this season?
No, the doctor said that he wasn't ready to throw yet, so we're holding him another week.
Should we expect to see Ryan Smith back?
I believe Ryan will be ready, yeah.
On the offensive side of the ball, is there something key to playing against Navy that you guys need to do better? Or?
Well, they play kind of a bend don't break scheme, you know. So you got to be patient, and you know they make you earn, you know, what you get, and you know you got to be efficient. You know, if you're only going to get so many chances because they hold the ball for so long. So you got to do something with it every time you get a chance. I mean, I really have felt every time I played this type team, even when I was in Hawaii, that if you made them punt 3 times, you had to win the game. You know, I mean, that's how efficient you got to be. And we made them punt, I think, 7 times or 8 times here a couple of years ago, and we still didn't win the game. So that tells you got to be pretty efficient on offense.
Does anything need to be said this week about not looking forward to next week about with Houston?
No.
The guys are pretty
Yeah.
focused. And
No, we don't have that problem here. Because the next team beats you, and then they know that.
Have you got any feedback from mentioning wanting to go to the Hawaii Bowl? Although that wasn't exactly news to a lot of people, but did you get any feedback from people in Hawaii? Or
Oh yeah, definitely. We're rooting for you know that to happen.